Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Rebecca Parchment and this is HR Talks with Leash, where we talk all things HR. Join me on this journey to success as a HR professional, finding her way within the industry and rising to the top. If you're new here, welcome to the HR Talks with Leash community. Please can you like, comment, subscribe and click that notification bell so that you're always notified every single time I post a video. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. In today's video, I want to address a topic that I actually brought up in a previous video, which was the best way to prepare for a HR interview. The link is up here somewhere, so please check that out after you watch this video. But I want to outline why it's really good to use the STAR technique when you're preparing for interview questions. Now, do you want to be able to answer behavioural and competency-based questions perfectly every single time? Using the STAR technique is a go-to, it's a must that you should use when answering these types of questions. So the STAR technique is comprised of 4 main stages. So we've got the situation, where you basically outline what the situation is, the environment that you're in, and just give a bit of context about what's happening. You're also discussing the project that took place and who you were doing it with. Then the next part of the STAR technique is the task. So what were you actually doing? Now it's important in this part that you're outlining exactly what you did and not what somebody else was doing, because obviously this interview is about you and your specific experiences within previous positions. It's also important at this stage to explain the goal, what you were trying to achieve. Then the action, that's the third part of the STAR technique. What did you do and how did you carry out that task? What were the most important things that you did within that task to make sure that you took the appropriate action? The action section is actually the most important section, I believe, in the STAR technique, because you're basically outlining exactly what you did to either conquer a difficult situation that you're in or overcome a barrier that you may have faced. So it's really important that this part of the story is really detailed and you've put all the information you can into it. And then finally, you've got the result. Within the result, you're basically outlining the outcome of the situation, whether it was positive or not. And also you're making sure that you're outlining the lessons learnt as well. Sometimes in this section as well, it's good to add some statistics maybe. So let's say that you were in a sales role previously and you contributed to a rise in 10% of sales. It's good to close out with some kind of statistic, because the hiring manager would love that from you. So what goes wrong if you don't use the STAR technique? Well, when we're answering behavioural and competency-based questions, a lot of the time the hiring manager is looking for the detail of the situation that you've experienced and the action that took place. And a lot of the time we can miss these things out. Sometimes we go on about everyone else in the team. Let's say if you're answering a competency-based question on teamwork and you're not even addressing what you did specifically. Now this can actually put off the way that hiring managers view you in the interview. So it's really important that you use this as a base to really go through potential questions that may come up, and it can really help you to land that dream position. I'm sure that you're familiar with the questions such as, tell me about a time when you faced a difficult situation, explain the time where you made a mistake and what was the outcome. I know that everyone is familiar with those explain the time, tell me about a time questions. These tell me about a time questions literally means it's time to tell the story. So this is where you need to make sure that you are there already. You've already prepared a kind of answer that you will be able to give, and you're going to ace that interview if you use this, trust me. So do you want to know how to utilize the STAR technique in the best way possible? Then please watch the rest of this video, because I'm going to give you 2 really detailed examples of how I use the STAR technique and how I've related it back to a HR intern interview. So this video specifically is for those people who may not have that much experience within HR or no experience at all. You may be coming from a part-time job in retail or hospitality and you don't know how to utilize those transferable skills and put it within an interview question. This is exactly what I had to do when applying for the HR intern role that I received back in September. So I like to use the STAR technique to explain my experience within my part-time role. So I worked at Five Guys, and I'm basically going to tell you about the experiences that I had there, and I will link them back to the HR intern role. I think it's really important that you show how that's going to transfer into the new role that you're applying to, and it shows that you've read the job description because you know what they're offering and you know the skills you have and what you can do to make sure that you hit those targets within the new role. So for this part of the video, I'm going to be using my laptop to read through the answers that I've created because they're quite lengthy and I want to make sure that you've got all the detail as possible. So what I'm going to do is on the screen, I'm going to write out the whole answer that I'm reading out to you, and I'm going to highlight the section from the STAR technique that I'm referring to. So obviously the first bit's going to be situation, second bit's going to be task, next bit is going to be action, and then the final bit will be the results. And then I will also highlight the paragraph that I talk about explaining how it links back to the HR intern role. I really hope this helps somebody out there who really does not know how to implement the experience that they have within their part-time role or a different, totally different industry to HR, and they just don't know how to kind of answer these questions. This is what this video is for, so I really hope I'm helping somebody. Okay, so the first question that I'm going to talk you through is, tell me about a recent mistake you made and how did you handle it? Okay, so this is my answer. I was a crew member at Five Guys and I was responsible for taking orders from the customers as a cashier. A customer ordered a cheeseburger with small fries, but unfortunately I put through medium fries. I realised the mistake after she paid and let her know that I put the wrong fries through on the till. I apologised for the inconvenience and called my manager immediately so that they could issue the customer the difference in cost between the small and medium fries. I made sure that this wouldn't be a problem before she got her food, as I didn't want to disappoint. I went to the crew member on the dressing station responsible for ensuring that the fry station know what fries to put with each order. I told them the error and they made sure that the customer got the small fries. When at the till, I ensured to repeat the order back to the customer before putting it through, and this mistake hasn't happened again. So that is basically me answering the question using the STAR technique, and then this is how I relate it back to HR. I know that as a HR intern, I will be responsible for drafting letters and contracts and inputting information into the data systems correctly. I am careful not to make mistakes, but I know that they can happen. From the example given, I spot mistakes quickly and communicate with other team members to ensure that this isn't a problem. Now that is me basically relaying that back to the job role at hand. How is it that the mistake that I made and the way that I overcame it can help me within my new role as a HR intern? Now this is an example answer of how you can utilise your experiences and relate it back to the role that you're applying to. So the next one is, tell me about a time when you performed well under enormous pressure. So I'm going to read my example now. So as a crew member at Five Guys, I'm sometimes responsible for the dressing station where we add the toppings to the burgers. On Saturdays, we can get extremely busy, and on one of the Saturdays, a crew member who was helping me on the dressing was ill and had to go home. There wasn't anyone to cover her for at least an hour, so I had to do the dressing myself with orders flying in. I thought about the quickest way to dress the burgers while ensuring I sustained the quality. I put more amounts of burger buns on the toaster than usual so that they were prepared in advance. I ensured that when the orders came in, I did them straight away and moved it along the line when complete so that the grill guy could put the patties on the burgers. I made sure that I coordinated with the grill guy on my team, telling them how many patties should be on the grill, so we were still keeping on track. Organising the way that I dressed the buns allowed me to not have a backlog of orders, but do them as soon as they came in. So now I'm going to relay that experience about me performing well under enormous pressure back to HR. So I know that as a HR intern, I'll have a lot of deadlines to meet and be expected to keep on task. Based on the transferable skills I have gained from Five Guys, I am able to organise my time in a way where I'm able to get as much done as possible if I need to do a task myself, and still coordinate with my team if they need to do the next action within a specific time frame. If I need help, I ensure to ask, as it is best to work as a team, and I know the importance of this instead of struggling in silence. This was basically an example of me performing well under pressure because I was still able to coordinate and I'm still able to talk to and interact with different team members whilst being under pressure, knowing that I'm going to get help soon, but knowing that right now I need to do this so that we can get things out. So it's good to show examples, real life examples, being really honest about positions that you've done in the past that are not related to HR, but in a way are, because these skills that I've just listed out here, performing under pressure and being able to coordinate and communicate with team members, is exactly what you have to do within a HR environment, because there are always different tasks and deadlines that you are going to have to make sure that you're on top of, whether it's onboarding, whether it's creating contracts, whether it's making sure that, you know, maternity leave and paternity leave is in the system right, getting the letters out as soon as possible, ensuring that data quality is kept up to scratch. All these things, in a way, actually link into why I did at Five Guys, because I had to be coordinated, I had to be on the ball, and if something went wrong, you have to know how to pick it up and still try and perform well. So that is another example of using the STAR technique and then backing it up with how I can relate that to HR. By using the STAR technique, you're basically setting yourself up to ace an interview. It's really good to tell stories, because telling stories in an interview will keep the hiring manager connected with you, because stories connect us. So if you're using them within your interview answers, they will see that you really took care and time to actually evaluate the experiences that you've had, and they can see how that can transfer into the role that you're applying for. So I hope this video has shown you that transferable skills from any job can land you an internship, a junior role, and an entry-level role in HR. I really hope that you see how this helps, and please use the example answers that I've given as examples to help you to articulate your own answers and your own experiences. Use the STAR technique, tell the story, ace the interview. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want more examples, then please like, comment and subscribe, and click the notification bell as well. Make sure that you're always coming back for more content, and I will see you in my next video.